Hi everybody, welcome to my beginner's guide to playing Sakhal. And although I'm calling this a beginner's guide to the new winter map from DayZ, I don't recommend starting with Sakhal if you're a completely beginner to DayZ the game. You want to start with something a little bit simpler like Chernarus Livonia to learn the basic survival mechanics before you come to Sakhal, because even for experienced players, I think the first few times that you play Sakhal, it's going to be quite a challenge because of the extreme cold. So in this video I'm just going to go through some basic concepts that are going to get you on your way to surviving, and so you're not that frustrated when you dive in and you think, oh man, this isn't working very well. Now the first thing that happens when you spawn in, you'll spawn in probably with bandage, a glow stick and a knife. Now I think they've added the knife because you simply need it. So what I recommend you do, your first priority when you spawn in is getting warm. And one of the best ways that you can do this is by actually crafting a torch. So if there's some buildings nearby, what you'll do is you want to run in, have a quick look around, see if there's any better clothes to put on first. And then you want to get your knife out and you want to craft some rags. There we go. If you look in the bottom right corner, you can see my character is freezing cold. So we've got some rags, so that's good. So now we can dash outside, and you want to just go to the nearest bush. Now remember, with bushes and things like that, often you don't need a knife or anything in your hands to get a stick or a short stick. That's all we need. So we can put our knife away. We've got our stick. Oh, there we go. And then let's just split that up. We don't need that. Okay. Right, so we're going to have two sticks with a bit of luck, which we're going to just drop on the floor there. And then we're going to need to make a fire drill. So we're going to put that in our hand, which is going to go up to the nearest tree, and we're going to get some bark. There we go. So we've got some bark. Let's take the bark. Go back to where our sticks were. Which hopefully they're on the floor there. Right, so you've got to be careful when you do this because you want to make sure you don't spoil what you've got. So let's pick up the short sticks and let's combine it with the bark, and let's make remember we've got to scroll down, let's make a craft a hand drill kit. And obviously I'm doing this on PC, and on controller I think it's down on your D-pad, isn't it? So there's our hand drill, so we've got that. Now let's combine our rags with the other stick and let's make a torch. There we go, so we've got a torch. Now we can grab our hand drill, and now we can ignite our torch. Now what the torch is going to give us is mobile heat. Because what happens now, if you look in the bottom right hand corner, hopefully what you should see is I'll start to get warmer in a minute. The danger on Sakhal when you first spawn in is that you've got crap clothes, and you've only got a limited amount of food in your belly. My character's basically got full hydration and full food, but you won't have that. Yours will be about half. And when your character is on a blue temperature, when they're basically hypothermic, they're burning through the calories really, really quickly. So that means you've got less time to find the things you need to survive. However, if you can get warm and get out of that hypothermic stage, your character will be burning calories a lot slower, so you then be able to have that extra time to find the better clothing, to find the food, to find the gun, to find the bags, all that sort of stuff, to extend that early survival time you need to kind of get started. So as you can see, I'm getting warm. Now the reason why we're using a torch is because it's mobile, so we can keep moving around while we're looking for those essential things we need to survive. However, obviously, if you're in a PvP situation at night or anything like that, people are going to see this torch. And the other thing you may want to then do is actually use a fireplace, because you can get the same effect. Put some sticks on a fireplace, put a rag on the fireplace or some bark, light it with a fire drill, and then get the heat buff that way. But obviously the problem with that is you're stuck where you are. Because we've got this lovely torch, we can now keep running around and finding other stuff. So I tell you what, let's have a look in this shed and see what we can find. Aha! So a sickle. Right, so any blades are really important because you're going to be cutting lots of bark, you're going to be cutting lots of rags, all this sort of stuff. And also we've got bones. Now remember, you can do an awful lot with bones. And again, we've got knives we can make, very, very important. So when you find piles of bones, or if you kill and skin and quarter an animal, always do stuff with the bones. So we've got knives. You can... What else can we do? We could also combine that. Let's do that again. We could make a improvised hook for fishing. Again, do this. So make use of everything you can, but especially knives. Now, let's just take that. So let's pop that on the floor. So now we've got another knife just in case we damage our knife. We've got a hook if we want to go fishing, which we're going to do in a minute. And then we've got a torch. Now remember, we can add to the torch. If we cut more rags, we can add stuff to it. Let's go around this way. Also, by keeping warm, there's less of a chance that we're going to get ill. Because again, if you get ill, you can use calorie stones. So pick up the small stones. They're everywhere in Sakhal. Make a stone knife. So again, you're always going to have these poor quality knives. They're not going to last very long, but they could well get you out of a sticky situation where you need to be able to cut up some rags. We've got a stone knife now. Okay, very, very easy. Let's pick up our torch. So there we go. So we've got a torch. So we're staying warm. Right, let's get in this house. Let's have a look. See what we've got in here. Aha! Now, you won't be as lucky as this, but this is where we start to see the stuff we need. We need gloves. There's a nice backpack. Remember, this is 1.26, so storage capacity is significantly reduced. There's a jacket. Remember, if you're swapping clothes, take everything with you. What else have we got? Some jeans. Let's get them on. There we go. Remember to take that. Remember to take that. Remember to take that. A heat pack. Again, super important heat packs when you get them. Because you really want to be doing everything you can. Oh, where's the heat pack gone? To stay warm. I can't stress enough how much it is to stay warm, because if you get ill and your character then starts coughing and spluttering, let's pick up that torch again, and then you start you get a temperature. Oh, right, then what we got here? We've got an Ushanka. Let's put that on our head. There we go. And tell you what we could do at the same time now. Let's put our torch down for a second. Let's get a knife out. And let's craft some more rags while we're here. Let's put the rags in our hand. And let's craft a face wrapping. If we could use a balaclava, but we haven't got nothing like that. You want to be maximising the amount of insulation you're getting. And what Sakhal will do is it will turn you into an expert on understanding what the levels are of all these things. So hunter jacket, medium insulation. Jeans, medium insulation. The backpack adds some insulation. The Ushanka, best insulation. Wool gloves, best insulation. But as they get damaged and they get wet, that insulation is going to be reduced. So you want to be changing them out for fresh stuff or repairing them. Right, now, here we come, round to this sort. So food and drink. Unfortunately, when you come across food and drink on Sakhal, it will be like this can of spaghetti. Is it? How's the Pepsi doing? Right, that's cold. So you'll find everything will be frozen. So what that means is you'll find food and you're going to have to take it to a fireplace or an oven inside a house and start a fire and put it on there to defrost it enough so you can drink it. Or if you're making a fireplace outside, you're going to have to put it around the outside, and that will then slowly defrost from the heat buff from the fire. Now, let's put our stick down because our flame's gone out. Now, these are very interesting. So the cooking pots are probably, along with the flaming torch, the most OG things in the game, because when you find a cooking pot on Sakhal, unlike here, because let me let you into a secret, this isn't Sakhal, this is Namalsk. When you find a cooking pot, it will be frozen, but it will be full of water, and that water should be safe to drink. So you take your cooking pot, you're going to put it on a stove, and you're going to light the stove, you're going to let it defrost, you're going to put it near a fire when you're outside, and that water will then be good to drink. So, and that water, there's loads of water in a cooking pot, so you'll be able to use that for quite a while. So let's put that in there. The other thing you can do is when you come across frozen stuff, if you're not planning on doing a fire or anything anytime soon, put them like in your jeans or in your jacket, and they will slowly defrost over a long period of time. But you know, if you don't need to eat straight away, that might be something you want to do. So let's crack on. Let's go a little bit further. Let's see what we've got in this house. So we've got some more essentials here. So when you find your matches, grab those. There's some shotgun shells. With a shotgun, you're going to want those. Spare shoes, think about that. And obviously shirt, you're going to be swapping out stuff and making more rags. Keep making rags. You burn through rags very, very quickly on Sakhal. Right, let's go around this side. Oh, hello. Gosh, he must be freezing cold, that infected. There we go. Now we'll leave those zombies over there, but obviously you've got the animals on Sakhal as well. So we've got like the reindeer. You'll find lots of foxes. Kill them, cook them, eat them, and you'll be fine. Right, now let's go down here. All right, let's get rid of this zombie. There we go. Have some of that. Now here we go. Fishing. Fishing is an incredibly important part of survival on Sakhal. Mainly because it's one of the easiest ways of getting lots of good calories, but also maybe the biggest challenge for Sakhal after the cold is hydration. And you're actually going to be getting lots of your fuel from actually not drinking, but eating lots of stuff as well. So you'll know that you can make a improvised fishing rod out of a long stick and some rope. Remember, to make rope, all you need is 2 stacks of 6 bandages, 2 stacks of 6 rags. Combine them, you can make some rope. Combine them with a long stick, and you can add a hook. You can dig in the ground to get some worms, or if you find a jig, that means that you don't need worms. So, for example, there's lots of fishing rods lying around. You'll find one pretty quick. We can use that with a jig. We combine that, and now we can fish. Now the fishing mechanic has changed. You've got to kind of look for like a disturbance in the water, and then you let go of the mouse button or the fishing button on your gamepad controller, and you'll probably have a fish. And the beauty with fishing is it's stealth. You'll only be able to fish around the coast of Sakhal, but you'll be able to go around, fish quietly, get a few fillets of fish, get them cooked off, scoff them, and then you'll be... Right, there we go. Right, and there we go. And we've caught a mackerel. Smashing, which we would then cut up, and then we would cook. And so, yeah, so make sure you go fishing. Remember, fishing isn't just about rods. You have fishing traps made out of netting and wire, and also you can make them out of bottles, can't you? Okay, so let's head up here. Let's kind of look at this building. Oh, can we get inside this building? Yes, yes, yes. So, what I've done here is I've just put again some essentials. Let's close that door so the zombies don't come in. So things you're going to want to be looking out for. The filtering bottle. I'm going to be honest, I haven't found this yet on Sakhal. Not sure where it is. I think it will be in hunting places, maybe in higher tier normal places, maybe in military locations. What the filtering bottle does is, he says, let's put that on the ground. Let's pick that up. What the filtering bottle does is it takes the water that you can collect, say, from the hot springs in the middle of Sakhal, or you can actually collect it, I'm pretty sure, from the snow. You can do that with the cooking pot as well. So when you're near some snow, you'll have the option to fill it, and it cleans it of the heavy metal poisoning. Whenever you drink any water on Sakhal that's from an open source, which is only really at the hot springs in the middle of the island or snow, there's a chance it's been contaminated with heavy metal poisoning from the volcano. If that's the case, you then get heavy metal poisoning, but this will take that out of it. So you can do that. However, the other way that you can deal with it as well is with these tablets here. Gelatin, I've probably said it wrong again, tablets. Now, these are quite unusual in the fact that if you collect snow, for example, into a pot or into a bottle, and then use the gelatin tablets to sterilize it, that will then make the water safe to drink. Also, if you get heavy metal poisoning, so if you've ate some snow because you're really desperate, and you take these, I think normally you have to take 2, it will heal you as well. So it's a way of cleaning up water, and also it's a medicine as well, which is quite interesting. Now, you will find chlorine tablets on the island as well. I think they're a bit of a red herring. I don't think they work. So we've got that. What other things have we got here? Tetracycline, you're going to get cold at some point, so make sure if you find some antibiotics, use them. Multivitamins, a big part of being able to fight off colds and heavy metal poisoning and any of the illnesses in DayZ is by keeping your immune system up, and that is all based around your drinking, your food, your temperature, your blood, and you can boost it with multivitamins. So if you find multivitamins, especially as your health starts to go down a bit, just keep popping them in, and you'll be amazed how you avoid getting ill. A map, obviously, you find a map, you can know your way around a little bit better. Let's go over here a little bit. A compass, again, find your way around. Flashlight with a battery. There are some interesting secrets on Sakhal. So, and some of those are in darkness. Let me just say bunkers. I won't say any more because I don't want to spoil anything. Duct tape. You've got to stay on top of your clothing. You've either got to, if it gets damaged, you've either got to fix it or you've got to swap it out, because you want to keep that insulation level high. Even with high insulation level clothes, your character will still be getting colder and colder and colder unless you're getting that heat buff, unless you've got your little sign here. If you got that with into the normal temperatures, and you've got it with the little pluses by it. You've got the little pluses by it, you've got the heat buff, you're going to stay warmer for longer. But as soon as that's gone, your character's going to get colder really, really quick. They're going to be chewing through those calories of the food you've eaten, and you're going to get a cold. Disinfectant spray and the alcoholic tincture for your rags, because you're going to get cuts from zombies and from maybe sliding around ladders and all that sort of stuff. So make sure you find bandages, and if you do use rags, make sure you sterilize them, because you don't want to get blood poisoning as you go along. So to sum everything up now, water is a big challenge on Sakhal. Now, you won't find these on Sakhal, but I've just put this here as a placeholder so I remember what I was meant to talk about. What you will find, however, at the back of some villages and towns, you'll find these pathways that lead up into the hill, and you'll find these, they're almost like a little wooden feeding station, little wooden open shack type thing, but very small, only a couple of feet high, about 1 metre high, and that is a spring, and you can drink from those springs. As far as I'm aware, they're fine to drink from. I've drunk from them, and you get fresh water, so you could fill up your pot, fill up your water bottle, fill up your canteen from them. If you find one of these, remember where it is, because you're probably going to loop back to it to make sure you get fully hydrated. So there we go. However, I guess on community servers, people may well add things like water pumps, but they're not on Sakhal as far as I'm aware. You're going to be finding the natural springs. Now, this is kind of my summary of surviving on Sakhal. It's all based around heat, keeping warm, keeping that buff. Consider using the torch, because it is your mobile heat source. You can make one really, really quickly in the middle of nowhere. Run up to a tree or a bush. You don't even need anything in your hands. Get yourself a small stick. Wrap a bandage around it. Wrap a rag around it. Maybe add some fat if you've got it, and then light it, and that will then give you that heat buff. It will warm up your character enough to stop it chewing through your calories, stop you getting ill. Clothes. Keep your clothes in top condition. Use your duct tape, use your sewing kits, use your leather sewing kits to repair your clothes. Always be checking them. As soon as you've gone through an encounter with a zombie where you've been in a scrap, just double check, because the worst thing you'd want is something to get ruined and then you accidentally take it off to repair it, and then you're without your strides as you're going along. As stuff gets damp and wet, sometimes it may be better and quicker just to swap it out for fresh stuff. If you're stuck in a place, remember, you can wring things out. Fishing. Now, I've put the fishnet trap here as a reminder, because most people are going to be using fishing rods, improvised or the proper ones, but fishnet traps are really useful, because again, you can put a fishnet trap down, you can wander off, you can do some other looting and come back, and then you'll have some fish made from netting and some wire. Or again, you can just take a bottle, cut it up and make a simple little one, which you'll catch the little I can't remember what they call, spratlings or something like that. And then the cooking pot. I've put this here just to remind us about water. Water is so important. It's difficult to find, it's frozen when it's in drinks, but what I think you'll probably find, one of the techniques will be to find a cooking pot, defrost it, use that water as your drinking source for the next few hours, and then find another frozen cooking pot, throw your other one away, and then use that one, because it's going to be your source of clean water. Now that may well change, and if you find yourself getting ill from that water, then you're going to have to use the chelating tablets. But I think that's probably a good way of doing it. And once you find a spring, as I say, you'll probably find yourself returning to that spring again and again and looping around, because they're very, very important things. Now you'll notice the one thing I haven't really talked about in this video is PvP and shooting people. And I think one of the problems that could well happen in Sakhal is that, because the early game survival of having to try and stay warm and get a fire going, that's going to be really difficult if you're in a town or a village with lots of other players running around killing each other. So one of the things you might want to consider is really moving away from a bigger area as soon as you get warm and you've got the basics. Move down the coast, stay near the coast, to get away from the other players, because unfortunately, if you don't have enough time to get warm, everybody's going to die that way. Okay, so there we go. Hopefully this will get you started. Look how beautiful this is. Sakhal, from what I played on it, it's been amazing fun. The added extra bit of the survival mechanic of having to stay warm, of having to have that extra challenge of finding fluids, has been really, really good. Very, very enjoyable. And Sakhal itself is beautiful and I think plays excellently. So there we go. What do you think? Any more hints and tips? I've probably missed out loads. Stick them in the description below this video. Thank you very, very much for watching. Like if you like the video. Subscribe if you want to see more of the same. And I'll see you again soon.